Hey YouTubers, Xfactor here. The other day I did a video about summer is coming and people started asking, well, what kind of car do you drive? Well, I've always had an affinity for cars ever since I was a little kid. My dad purchased me a 1986 Ford Flairside F-150 and we ripped the thing apart, redid it from the bottom up with a 351 Windsor engine. Tons of horsepower. Bad thing is, it got totaled pretty quickly in a pretty sad story. So growing up from that, I've always made it a point to have something I enjoyed. My last vehicle, not pictured here, was a Cadillac CTS with a Sport Edition, custom suspension, 3.6 liter with about 300 horsepower. Pretty quick. This time around, when it was time to grab a new vehicle, I was looking at the new Cadillacs. I was probably going to wager towards the XTS. And then something caught my eye across the street. Something sporty, slender, and just looked nasty. Welcome to the Buick Regal GS. If you're over in Europe, this car exists. I believe it's called the Insignia Opal. So when Buick comes to mind, people think old people, because that was the brand. Business class workers on the older side and retirees, but not anymore. Buick redid their entire label just like Cadillac did a few years ago, and man, did it turn some heads, including mine. I was looking for something sporty, quick, and luxurious, and I got that with this car. It has a full magnetic suspension that you can completely adjust on the inside. 20-inch rims with Pirelli Z tires with massive brake pads that we're going to zoom in right now, some Brembo brakes. This is actually General Motors' second or third quickest stopping vehicle in their entire fleet. What's in front of it? Oh, just something like a couple of Corvettes, say. So this thing stops on a dime. One of my true concerns when jumping from Cadillac to Buick was the luxury. What am I going to lose on the inside? Well, I was deeply surprised. I gained options. I gained enhancements. I have a full screen touchscreen infotainment center, not to mention a full lineup of Harman Kardon speakers all the way around, including a subwoofer in the trunk. I like electronic music, alternative, and rock and roll, and the thing really pumps. Not to mention the European style controller in the middle console, the 6-speed on the floor, and tons of different options for the heads-up display that's on the dash. And what kind of guest would I be without showing you what's underneath the hood? 272 stock. See that heat shield way up there? That's because there's a turbo. This thing is just nasty on the road, but 272 wasn't enough. I found a company in Detroit to custom tune this. Now it's 272 or 270 to the tires, 315 to the crank. That's a ton of horsepower for a 4-cylinder turbo. This thing is a blast to drive, and I haven't given up anything in my pursuit of happiness while getting a vehicle, because I'm getting older, as we all know. I should be driving like a station wagon by now, right? So the question is, were you a kid like me and enthused by vehicles, or are you a kid like me? Or what do you drive now? What have you done to your vehicle to really make it yours and make a statement, whether it's modifications to the engine or the body? Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon, YouTube.